For more insight into the story, I'm joined by Cídan Stambolchik. He's the head of the Red Team Development at HackerU Solutions. Cídan, welcome. Thank you for joining us for this. Cídan, obviously Israel is not taking responsibility. Clearly, it's Iran blaming it on Jerusalem. Does Israel have the means to create such an attack, and how does it work?
All right. So, according to the reports, we understand that Israel gained access to one of the computers that centralize all the information and all the shipments of the cargo port in Iran. Israel does have all the equipment to gain access by remote, and in this time of coronavirus, it's even easier because a lot of organizations these days try during the lockdown gain access by a remote to all the employees. So yes, this is possible. I guess this is kind of a vulnerability inside the system that has been exposed to the worldwide network.
So it's interesting to understand that this pandemic has made this kind of operation even more possible. Looking into the future, Cídan, what could this mean for obviously the tense relations between the two nations? Could we see an escalation?
So in the future, we can see most of the time increase with all the cyber attacks, and that can be targeted all the home users and organizations. From my perspective, we can see that as we teach all our students at HackerU that we need to defend ourselves even if we will be with our home user computer.
How do you do that?
So most of the time, do not try to download any random softwares. Do not try to reach any unauthenticated services, all right? Try to use all the security measures if it's two-factor authentication, which means that you will receive a message by an SMS in order to connect to the service. So we need to take a look on all of the picture in order to protect our services.
Should Israelis be worried if, in fact, Israel is behind this?
I guess that Israel are doing a very good process. We can take a look on the future for, like, for example, an autonomic vehicles. And we can take an example of the Prime Minister of Israel that will go into an autonomic vehicle and attacker from the enemy will just gain access by remote. So these days, Israel are doing the best that she can in order to protect all the civilians by the personal grade and organizational grade.
Well, fingers crossed, our security teams do work. Cídan Stambolchik, thank you for joining us to shed more light on this.